What makes life worth living? Our families, our work, our passion. Bodies often manifest that form of stress in some illness. What do I mean by thrive? Or to have a thriving life. Why do we need these traits? Why do we need this personal development? Our life is like going wonderfully fine. Why should we spend and worry too much? Hello guys, I'm Iram Irshad. I welcome you to IRAM at Life. I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about what makes life worth living? Think about it. What makes life worth living? You can share your answer in this email address and I will get back to you. The email address is iram@life@hotmail.com. It's popping on your screen. You can write me your answers. So what makes life worth living? Our families, our work, our passion, our belief system, our religious faith, association. What makes life worth living? I think it's a very important question, and human tragedy is this, that our focus is generally on things that do not work in our life. We remain fixated on loss, rejection, refusal and lack. And tell me one thing, that we buy that stress and depression, anxiety has an effect on our personalities, and our bodies often manifest that form of stress in some illness. But why do we deny the value or the effect of positive emotion or a positive life disposition in our lives? Why do we call it's absurd, it doesn't work, it's just absolutely not functional or not workable, not practical? We label it that way. So another question, are we here to survive or we are here to thrive? So by surviving I mean that we live in a very safe environment, we avoid risk, we don't go out of our comfort zone and we just try to play safe. That's what I mean, survival mode. Are we here to just survive? And then another question comes, that what do I mean by thrive or to have a thriving life? To thrive means that we are flourishing and progressing in every aspect of our life. And what are the ways that we can, get into more fulfilled life? Now, we cannot thrive by just living in a fixture mode where we just try to fix depression or negativity. We got to, or maybe there are already positive reasons for living as well, and we are not able to see that. Now, positive psychology claims that strengths can be identified and it can be amplified. Each one of us is blessed with certain strengths or set of strengths, and we got to decode those strengths in order to live a very fulfilling life. Now, let's say if this is the case that you are having some limiting belief regarding your own self or about life, either from your genes or from your environment or circumstances, the good news is that you can fire that belief system and you can rewire your brain with a positive and progressive thought pattern. Isn't that interesting? Moving on to the second part of our video today, what are the most interesting personal traits that we can learn to live more fulfilled life? I repeat this question, what are the most interesting personal traits that we can learn to live a fulfilled life? Now, this science of human strength has chalked out a list of traits or qualities that can empower us to live fully. And it starts with one of my favorite, courage, at the top of the list. And as Maya Angelou says, that courage is one of the most important virtues of all, because without courage we cannot practice any other virtue consistently. Isn't that interesting? Moving on, other than courage, you got to have interpersonal skills, you got to have rationality, optimism, honesty, future mindedness, and finding purpose and capacity for pleasure. All these traits are not new to you, because we all are practicing and having these qualities in one way or the other. But my objective to share these traits with you is that you need to reflect on these traits and see that which trait is more functional in order to expand you personally than the other. And I also want you or urge you to ponder over or reflect on these traits and see which one you have learnt earlier in your life and which is still not at a level where you can say that I have mastered these traits. For instance, a couple of traits amongst this list are more difficult to understand and to master than the others. For example, putting trouble into perspective. No matter how much cool dudes we pretend to be and we say that we are very well aware of all the coping strategies of dealing a difficult situation, but the moment an adversity hits us, we become so clueless and we lose touch with the positive dimension, and our ability to see possibility, at least for some time, gets blocked. And then we need to consistently work on that. And the other interesting trait that is being part of this list is finding purpose. Some of us are very fortunate that we get very early in our lives that this is purpose of my life or this is my calling. But people like me, those who are very slow learners, they take long time, and sometimes even then they don't understand what is their purpose of life. So yes, courage, interpersonal skills, your ability to see possibilities, your future mindedness, all these traits are very rewarding if we develop certain acumen and mastery in those. And moving on to the third part of our video today, that why do we need these traits, why do we need this personal development? Our life is like going wonderfully fine, why should we spend and worry too much? So I would just bring your attention to this point, that the way we people are fixated on negativity throughout our day, we are also habitually whiners. We whine all the time and we complain about everything and anything. And what is the effect of this consistent whining mode that we are having in this modern world, starting from traffic jam to the political system to the legal system? We are all the time into some blame or some complaint. So the problem with this complaining mode is that you are depriving yourself from a positive state of being grateful and being contented, being happy, to a state which is very negative in its own way. You are generating anger, resentment, all the emotions that are stemming out of complaint are negative. Eventually they are wearing you out of your emotional resources. So if we want to live more happier life, we want to experience joy, we want to experience peace, we got to breed those emotions which are more fulfilling, and in this way we can develop more peace and we can cater our our restlessness, our emptiness, and this variety of different behaviors that are pushing us throughout the day. Thank you very much for watching this video with me once again, and stay posted at IRAM Life. I would be very happy to have your feedback. Do write me emails, share your feedback on whatever little efforts I am making. I hope you are understanding it is being useful for you. Always rise and shine. Allah Hafiz.